Welcome to another tech video. Today we're going to be replacing an old faulty hard disk in a Dell Inspiron. Now the issue that we got here is the normal thing where you go into the task manager, the disk is running at 100% utilization, takes 15-20 minutes to start up. So we're going to be sorting that out for a client today. So before we get started, let's talk about the device itself. So unfortunately it is just a standard Intel Pentium processor. It's only got 4 GB of memory. It's running Windows 10. It's just had the latest update. It was quite slow before the update and now it's pretty much unusable. So we went over there, we had a look at the device, we cleaned out all the temporary files and checked the state of the disk, and there's bad sectors on the disk. It's the usual thing, and it just sitting at 100% utilization, the drive. So we're going to change that today and we're going to take you through the process as well. So let's have a look at the model itself. Okay, so here's the device itself. It's a nice white unit. Let's have a look to see what model it is. So according to this, can't quite see any model number on it, but it looks like it's a P66F001. Can't say I've ever heard of it, but it looks quite a nice unit until you go ahead and you open the lid. So on opening the lid, when I was at the client site, the first thing I noticed was obviously Intel Pentium. Never a good sign. One of the weakest processors, and you know, immediately I knew what the problem was as soon as she opened the lid. So what we're going to do is we're going to now go through and take the hard disk out and replace it for an SSD drive, and then we're going to clone the current Windows 10 installation onto the new SSD drive. So this one's quite a straightforward fix. We've done loads of these with different makes and models of laptops. So we just go through, go around the device, remove all the screws. Some of them come out easier than others. Some of them won't come out at all until you turn the device over. Right, so that's all the screws slackened off. Now we want to turn the device over to get all the screws out. There's one smaller screw and we know where that goes, so we're going to put that into a different tray. All the rest of the screws are the same size, but there are 2 smaller screws, and one is down in the corner here holding the CD-ROM. I missed one, always miss one. And the other 2, so there's one there, and one there. There are the smaller screws. And now the tray can just slide out. We put that to one side. And then underneath where the CD-ROM is, you can see we've got 3 additional screws to remove. Okay, so they're removed from there. The next thing that we want to do is you want to open the device up, stand it on its side, and then you can start pressing and peeling away at the side until you get one of them unclipped, like that. Nylon prizer tool, so what we're using here, it's just a little plastic prizer tool that gets in there, and you just slide that around all the way around the side. prising it up, and now we can put that on the side there. We can get in under here if we can. Just lift it until the catches clip out. There we go. Corners are always a bit trickier. But all you can see that we're doing here, we're just moving it along to the clip and then unclipping it, like so. There we go. Okay, now we can close the lid and turn that over, and the cover should just unclip from the rest of the panel like that. And there we go. Put that to one side. Okay, so what I've already said that I will do is I will see if I've got another 4 gig stick of memory. So unfortunately I do not have the right RAM for her, so she's going to have to live with 4 gig of RAM. Right, okay, so here we are with the top off, and all we need to do now is we're going to remove the hard disk, and we're going to fit our SSD drive. So there's 1 screw, 2, 3 screws that need to come out of here. Make sure you don't damage the ribbon cable that's running across the top. This looks hardly used, this laptop. Okay, so that will now lift up and slide out. Make sure you disconnect the cable using the cable plug rather than the ribbon cable, because you don't want to snap the ribbon cable or damage it. And we are going to be fitting this SSD drive here. So on the drive we remove the 4 screws that hold it into the drive cage. It's not really a cage, but we remove them. Take the drive out. Okay, so that's the drive inserted, and then we now get this back connected. So we put the plug in. That goes under the ribbon cable, fits it into one place only. So this laptop's from 2017, so although it's a few years old, I would have thought it would have lasted a bit longer than this before we needed to change the drive. Okay, so that's mounted back in there. Now we want to get our drive our case back on, our cover back on, and that will clip in, so we don't need to go around and clip it in just yet, but we can open it up, and once you open it up, seat it back down. Make sure your clips will go back in. Like so. Close the lid back down, turn it back over, and then it's just the repeat process. So we're going to add our 3 flat screws in here, the big head to hold the side edge down. Okay. Right, so the next thing we do is we slide our CD-ROM back in, and then we go around and reattach our screws. So remember, we've got the two small screws, so the first one goes in here, at the back of the drive tray, like so. Then all the other screws are the same size, and that's it, back together. So now we turn it over. Okay, so the next part of the process, what we will do is we are then going to attach the hard disk via a USB 3 to SATA converter cable, and we're going to start up the laptop, and we're going to use Macrium Reflect to clone this drive onto that SSD, and then we'll come back and have a look at the performance to make sure that Task Manager is not showing the disk at 100% utilization. Right, so before we start the clone process, I just thought I'd run through how we've got things connected. So as you can see here, we've got our Macrium Reflect bootable USB stick, and then we've got our hard disk connected to our Fideco USB 3 to SATA and IDE converter, and then that just plugs into the laptop. What we're going to do is we're going to switch this on first. Now, the power cable that you've got here, you only need to attach that to 3.5-inch drives. You don't need to attach it to 2.5-inch drives. So we're just going to switch this on. Make sure we can feel the disk spin, which we can, and then we're going to switch on the laptop and then boot up Macrium Reflect and do the drive clone. So here we are with the new SSD drive installed, and you can clearly see it's no longer sitting at 100%, which it was previously. So that has resolved that issue. Now, we did notice that after doing some updates it would run at 100% CPU. However, that seems to have settled right back down now. So this is now completed. We will go and return this back to our client, who I'm sure is going to be very, very happy. So if you found that video useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And just want to say thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.